Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Oshinoko season 2 episode number 2 reaction. So the previous episode it was the beginning of season 2 and we are Aqua over there, Kana, everyone like is like going and doing the rehearsals for Tokyo Blade, and we get to meet a few new characters as well. One of them who was very like prominent was that guy. I forgot his name, but he's very good at acting out, and him being that talented going against Kana made Kana also be able to unleash her true potential, and which kind of made like Akane get like her competitive side up as well. However, her problem is that she cannot properly do her lines because they have changed the whole character or personality of the person that she's acting in the source material into something completely very streamlined. So so these type of things are going on over there. In the end, the original, like, the author comes in of Tokyo Blade, and he looking at everyone, he was like, damn, you guys are talented. At first I was like, yeah, let them do what they want to do, but now that I'm seeing that you guys are so talented, I want to make a change to the script, the whole thing. And that's where it ended. So let's see what happens in today's episode, episode number 2. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, here we go. Yep. Yeah, he's like, I just, the fact that it is so good, all the people are so talented here. This need to change. I love the fact that he said like the whole thing. Oh boy. Right. Okay, what's happening? Um. Okay. Hmm. Oh. It's Has a hand in the costume. Oh. I was going to say, he must be feeling so intimidated with so many great people acting here. Hmm. Well, good thing he's putting the effort this time. Sonics. Hmm. Well, Raida. Hinchan. Right. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so they're all actors. Okay. Oh my god. And this dude. What was his name? Hey, but Imperial Theatre Award, Best Actor Award, Lead Actor. Taiki Himekawa. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. To keep on the alibi. Hmm. Yeah, she's right at home. Oh boy. Well, actually, yeah, with that conversation, I guess. Oh yeah, deliberate casting, which makes sense. No, but the fans will. You know, the people who are watching, audience, they'll go crazy. Bruh. Ah, yeah. Well, she has to do it. Come on, don't put it on her. Like, really? Yeah, there you go. Hmm. Monthly. I see. Oh. So he was okay. I see. I see. Yeah, he doesn't like the way they're treating his, or maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. He's like, I don't know whether I should voice my concerns. Like, what should I do? Hmm. Hmm. uh, oh. Okay. What? Hmm. True. Yep. There you go. Hmm. Hmm. Hey, what? Double the efficiency. Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah, his coordination of both the hands. Yo. Oh Lord. And now we're here. Oh no, he's. It's not his fault. He has to put, like. Hmm. Hmm. And the fact that he's also a big fan of his work, that probably makes him more sadder about the situation. Oh no 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 no, he's going to take it so hard. Oh. Oh no. Mm, yeah, Akana was saying the same thing. Yeah, like then what is the like? They're literally changing the whole. Oh God, stop. Yeah. No no no, he's not at fault because because he is also under constraining, like he cannot do it, like he doesn't have the freedom. Yeah, bro. Like let this go on. I'm just going back home. Oh my god. It's quite common for them. Hmm. Yeah. Understandable. Good. Briefing with the producer, the director. Okay. Ah, that's how it goes. Her? Wait, wait. She's a girl? Yeah, it's true. Like the whole thing changes at the end. Girls go. Yeah. Well, he's a mangaka. What are you on about, bro? Yeah. Oh my. So it completely. Yeah. So yeah. By the end of it, it just. Yeah. As she said, the telephone game is basically the whole thing changes by the end of it. Oh my god. Uh. Yeah. Well. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a build up. Yeah. No. Yeah, it wouldn't work like that. Bro. Okay. Oh. Oh. Damn. Oh no. Like I feel bad for him. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Yeah. True. Wow, that's true. Hmm. Yeah. Mm. You know what? I feel like there's only one way to salvage this. If the actors are able to do something like I don't know, like they can. I have no idea. Eat all you want. Oh, like if with this script the actors can produce something phenomenal. Mm, yeah. Oh boy, like I said, he's also taking it so hard because he said that I'm a big fan as well. So it's as if like someone that you idolize is literally saying that, oh, you're not it. Oh, so now what? We just practice normally, I'm guessing. Oh, it's on hold. Right. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. The oh boy, it's a mess. And what is that? Yeah, he has a different reason for doing all of this. Hmm. I feel like he'll change his mind if he sees the real deal. Yeah, he hasn't seen anything, a good like play. Okay. Hmm. He's like, come, I'll take you too. Makes sense because you're literally in front of the actor, seeing it in front of you happening. And like I said, like Aqua probably hasn't seen like a very good, like a proper, like theater. That's why he's like, oh, it's just. But now that if he sees like a good one, like a proper one, it'll probably make him interested in it. Okay. Hmm. Is that it? Yeah, there you go. That was episode number 2. So, very interesting episode, like a few things are brought up over here, and a few things that I guess you could say, like the details into what happens into these type of adaptations, like the script writer, the author, the problem that they face, and all that stuff. It's just, like it just got brought up, and how, like, these things are so important, and how each party has their own problem that they face. For example, obviously the author is not happy that their story is being treated like this. He's like, she's like, okay, so Samejima is a girl. Okay, I thought like she's a boy, but okay, so I'm guessing she's a girl. So she doesn't like the fact that how all her characters are just being made into a shell of what they are, and new personalities are getting injected in him just because they don't have enough time to properly cast them with their whole personality. As we saw in the previous episode, if we make Akane's character more like she is in the manga, then it'll take at least, I think, like 5 to 6 more seconds, which is going to pile up more and more, and it's going to take more time than they have been the time that they have been allotted for it, which will obviously drag out Akane's bits, and it'll probably reduce the other people's part, which will again just dilute the story. You won't get the true potential out of it, true, like, experience out of it that you have gotten after reading the manga. That's why obviously we all know this. I'm sure everyone who watches animes have gone through this, where they're like, okay, like the anime adaptation, it could have been better here. It doesn't bring out the true passion of the manga. Some anime adaptations, stuff like this happens quite a lot, and some, a bit lesser. So, that kind of thing. And I guess it probably depends on how popular a show. The more popular a show is, or a manga adaptation or whatever it is, the more they'll put their, I guess you could say, budget to it and time to it, and the more properly it gets adapted. For example, I don't think, like, all the mainstream shows, most of them at least, I don't think those shows, I've never heard anyone saying like, oh, the manga did it better here, or oh, the, like, it could have, like, gave out the emotions in a better way in the adaptation. I'm talking about like the big ones, like, for example, Demon Slayer, and what else? Oshinoko itself as well. It's a very popular manga. So I don't think like, more so I've heard people say that, damn, the anime actually, like, outperformed the manga. And sometimes in some places I've heard that as well. And and people, and like, shows which are like gain an amount of popularity, like these shows, like, Oshinoko, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, some shows that gets that amount of popularity. Sometimes they even add more scenes to the like, to the adaptation, which fleshes out the character even more. So it's very rare, like, stuff like that happens. Only like a select few that happens, but most of them, like, obviously that's why people say source material is better than the adaptation, because the source material is like the raw emotion and everything from the author gets put into it, which gets stripped down in the adaptation. And obviously I've always felt, what do the authors feel about this? So we can clearly see, obviously no author will like the fact that their, the creations are being treated this way. If an author genuinely, like, does their manga with passion, not only manga but any other medium like light novel, all that stuff, if they make that with passion and care and love, none of those authors will be happy when their characters are being treated this way. So that kind of thing. So we can see that here, how Samejima's like, what the hell is this? And obviously she's pissed. She's like, you are the script writer, like, this is what you understood after reading my, like, book? And she's like, yeah, like, the whole thing changed it. And she's mad at the script writer. And again, like, the script writer is also not at fault, as we have heard from him in the previous episode. He said that he told this to Akane. He was like, yeah, like, there's nothing I could do about it, unfortunately, because it takes up extra amount of time. So I tried my best to strip down the bare minimum so that it makes it into the, like, time constraint. However, like, it pains my heart as well, being a big fan of the manga, doing something to the author's, like, creation. And so yeah, he's not at fault as well, because he is also under orders that, oh, you have to do this within this amount of time. So he cannot also do anything. He, as he says, it pains him, and he's trying his best to keep the bare minimum, and, like, no, take out the bare minimum and keep most of it. But then again, it's just, like, not going to sit well with the author, because as Samejima says that she, like, there was a point where she said, like, what is this, like, like, this is how the script is written. Here it seems like they're all like some kind of power hungry freaks who's just doing it, while, like, obviously my, like, creations are not like that. You've completely changed the whole thing. Like, as she also said, like, there's a few things I could, like, be like, all right, you know what, fine, do this change. But if you change the whole damn character, what is the point in even doing this? Like at that point, just make an, or like, anime original or something. Why are you even adapting my thing? Because you're just changing the whole damn thing. The character personality you're just changing. That kind of thing. But then again, like, as we see, the scriptwriter also cannot really do anything, because he's under orders to do this in, like, a little amount of time, and he has to fit all of it in that part. So it's just a messy situation. Like, in a way I could say, like, nobody really is at fault. Like, Samejima is also just sad about the fact that her character is just like this, and like, and then the scriptwriter is also, like, not able to do anything. So I do wonder who is at fault in this situation here. Maybe the people who, like, who, I'm guessing the producer, that would it be the producer? Like, I have no clue about how these inner workings do, because obviously, like, the scriptwriter is just writing the script, he's under orders. The studio will be just, no, not studio, this is a theater, this is not an anime, never mind. No studio here. Okay, so the scriptwriter is just following orders. The author obviously cannot do anything in this situation. Then we have the director. I guess the director is also cannot do anything in this situation, because he's also under orders that, oh, you have to direct this within this amount of time, you have to put in this amount of stuff in it. So who's the one who's, like, the higher ups, who, like, the people who are at, I wouldn't call it fault, but who are, like, the main reason why this is happening, is the people who made the time constraint. So I'm guessing the people who, like, gave the okay that, yeah, we're making a theater out of this, and who said that, oh, this amount of budget, this amount of time constraint, they're the ones who are originally at fault in this situation, aren't they? So who is that? Is that the producer? Like, I don't know, I'm not really sure, but yeah, like, the people who are making this, like the higher ups, like, I'm saying, like, the higher ups who are like, oh, this, you have to do it within, like, 90 minutes. You have to complete this within 90 minutes. Within that, do whatever you can. Those people, they are the ones who are giving us the time limit. So I'm guessing they are the ones who are at fault here in a way. But at the end of the day, I feel like nobody's really at fault here, because I guess they also have to think about their budget and the time. So it's just one of those things where, in a way, nobody really is at fault, I guess. But still, it's just a sad situation that such a good manga will just be stripped out all of its contents and just be a shell of what it is, that kind of thing. Anyways, so yeah, so that was, like, the whole, like, problem here. And obviously, the scriptwriter is also taking this very hardly, because we see his part of the story as well, where he's like, as he said, like, whenever he got the call, he changed the script, he tried his best, he's like, like, late at night doing his job, like, that kind of thing. So it's just, like, yeah. And also the fact that there's a whole ass communication problem, because the author talks to this one guy, and that one guy talks to this another guy, and the other guy talks to the director, and the director talks to the scriptwriter. It's just, yeah, here we go. Writes, editor, sub-editor, original. Yeah, it's just, like, as they say, it's like a telephone game. And you know what happens in a telephone game? Someone says something to someone, that person says it to someone in their own way, and it completely changes the meaning by the end of it. So in the end, what the scriptwriter gets is a completely different message from what the author intends. And when he does that, the author is like, what the hell is this? I didn't tell you to do it like this. But there's nothing you can do. There's a whole ass chain between you guys, where the whole message which gets passed on completely gets butchered by the end of it. Like that's the thing. So communication problem as well, like all these things. And also the fact that Samajima, this is the first time her like work is getting adapted, so she's also like, I don't know what to say. Like I'm not happy with this whole script, but I just like I don't know how much I can say, like because it's true that they are the ones who are doing this, like for like adaptation. So she's like, I don't know how. That's why she called that lady, the one of Sweet Today, the author, the mangaka. So she was also her assistant. Okay, that's interesting. So like that's why she knows her personally. That's why like yeah. Anyways, so that's that, and it's just like I said, it's just an unfortunate situation where it's just like nobody's like really at the right or wrong in this situation. It's just unfortunate, I guess. Yeah. So there you go. And I feel like that was like the whole episode where we got to see like the struggles and the unfortunate situations of author and the script writer whenever there's like an adaptation happening. These type of things happen. And it was good. Like the script writer, he also said something which is very like which made me think. He's like, it's just that we, the script writers, are just a not punching bag, but we're just the person who just gets like, it's just like like there's nothing we can do about it. Like if the adaptation goes well, obviously the author is the one who gets praised, and like the animations, not animations to them. I'm forgetting this is not an anime. Here in this situation, I'm guessing like the actors it'll be. But in animes, it's like whenever an anime goes like is really good, and like for the storyline and everything, they're like, oh, the author is amazing, the animation studio is amazing for doing this job. But nobody thinks of the poor old scriptwriter. He just gets like lost in this deep sea of things, even though he was the one who was the person who properly like made sure that the author's intentions come properly out in the script. Even if it's an adaptation, he plays a big role in it. And and then also the fact that the script writers also get into arguments with the author, and so yeah, it's a sad job in a way, like that, like it's just like he's just like the doormat of everyone just going over him, and that kind of situation it is. So yeah, like it was just yeah, and it's very interesting because we got to know quite a bit. Like there's a lot of things that I didn't know about here. The way the amount of procedures that the whole adaptations go through. Obviously, this is like a theater, but I'm sure the same thing happens with anime adaptations as well. As they kind of say, like they talk, like the author talks to this person, this happens to that. It's like this whole happens in a chain. And then the scriptwriter does this, the director directs it, and like that's how the whole thing goes. I'm sure that's the same for animes as well, anime adaptation. Only the basic difference is like instead in theaters, obviously the actors will be acting, while in animes it's just like animation studio will be animating the thing. That's the only difference, I guess. Right. Yeah, there you go. And you can also see like Aqua being just like, oh, like like I've seen theater before, it didn't really move me or anything. At which Akane is like, all right, you've not seen the real deal, then come with me, I'm going to show you. And and you're going to change your mind. And I think this is where because we've seen here like Aqua has like a disinterest about this whole thing. Obviously he's doing this for his own mission, but I feel like after he goes, and probably he's going to watch this play with Akane, and I'm sure this is Akane we're talking about, so she knows what she is doing. She probably is going to take him to a really good place, where like the theater acting is impeccable and everything, and that will probably move Aqua to make Aqua give in his 100% here as well. We've already seen him being moved a little bit by seeing, what was his name, Himejima, his acting, You saw that part in the previous episode where the color got splashed on him. I'm guessing that's a symbolic way of showing that his moving, his acting moved him a little bit, even though he's not showing it. So and from the openings, it seems like he is obviously, like we've seen it in the previous episode as well, how when they explained that he will be like in a like an enemy, situation against Himejima. So Himejima and Himejima's group and his group will be enemies. So in the theater as well, their actings will clash against each other. Which will probably bring out his competitive side even more out. And even though he's doing it all for the mission, by the end of it, he'll probably give his all, or something like that is going to happen. And the fact that Akane took him to this theater, he'll probably also get to know the true, charm of theater and the acting by looking at this, and it's probably going to ignite his passion in him as well. I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens. Right. There's another thing I want to discuss here. Is where is that part where Samejima says, she says something like, my children are not like that. Where is that part? And I want to talk about that part because that's a very something that okay, where is it? If I can find it. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute, I cannot find it. Okay, I cannot find it. If I find it in the discussion section, like the scene by scene discussion section, I'm going to bring that part up. Anyways, I cannot find it. You know what? I'm just going to discuss about it, even though I cannot find the proper part. I remember what she said. She said something like, "Why are you treating my children like this?" So here, obviously, few people might be like, okay, she needs to understand. Obviously, she's the author. I can understand that she's, her creations are being treated like this. She needs to understand the problems and the complications of this whole situation as well. So that kind of thing. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's a very valid thing to say because, like I said, every author who makes something from passion, I'm not talking about people who just do it for the money, but from passion and genuine, from someplace in the heart, they make the story and the characters. To them, those characters are their children. So you just think about it like this. What would you feel like if your children are being treated in a way unfairly by other people, while you know that they're not like that? That kind of thing. So basically, her creations which she made, they're like children to her. So she knows each and everyone's personality. She knows what they are, how they are. And then we have this adaptation where they take them and completely butcher their personality and just put in some new personality in them. So the author here, for example, one character, the character that she made, for example, she made her a very, a very kind-hearted person. For example, what's her name? The character that Akane is doing. As she explained in the main story in the source material, she is not like a power-hungry, crazy type of character, which the adaptation is making. The original work, she's someone who's very kind, mild-mannered, thinks about other people's sadness, gets hurt by it, and and tries to it's not like this. So someone like that, the author, who knows that, oh, this person is like this is one of my creations or my children who is like this, and then the whole world will know her as this completely different person who is crazy power hungry. That's literally what's happening. So to the author, they're literally changing her creation's personality and is going to publish that in front of the world. The whole world will know this character as this power hungry, crazy, lady, that kind of thing, even though she knows that's not her. Like, yeah, you might say that, oh, fictional characters, but still, come on, like, she is the one who created these characters. She will have a deep emotional connection to them. You cannot tell that to the author and be like, oh, they're just fictional characters, it's fine. No, to them they're not fictional characters. Yeah, they are fictional characters, but to them they hold a lot more thing. I know that there's a lot of fans as well who have such a huge connection to some characters on screen. Like they like truly get them and understand them and love them from the bottom of the heart. And they, if you tell this to them that, oh, they're just fictional character, they'll get pissed off. They're like, what the hell? Like, yeah, they might be fictional character, but I genuinely connect with that character. Now just think about it, what the author, like, how much the author is connected to their characters. If a fan can be that connected to a character on the screen, you can just imagine how much connection the author who creates that character must have had with that character. So to the author, this is plain disrespecting, her children in front of them and making them into someone that they're not, and publishing that to the world. And the whole world will know these characters as a shell of what they are. Because obviously these type of adaptations, like be it anime and stuff, a lot of people will watch it. A lot of new fans will come in, and they'll know these characters as the shell of what they are, and that's how they'll treat them. So that kind of thing. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that because I very much understand why she's angry and why she wants the revisions. Anyways, yeah, so those are the things I wanted to discuss. Good episode. I feel like a few people might say that, oh, this episode dragged out or something. They just were talking about some, like the technical stuff and all that. But I enjoyed it. Like I said, like a lot of things got brought up, a lot of things that I never knew that went into like these type of adaptations and stuff. And it was interesting to see how the author and how everyone else is like, how they feel about it and how they might, like take these type of things. And we also got to know a lot about the scriptwriter, as he said. Like even I didn't know like the scriptwriter, the whole situation with the scriptwriter was like this. And because it's true, like whenever something gets praised, the studio that adapts it gets praised, or the author gets praised. Then there's the like poor old scriptwriter just there. Like nobody knows him or recognizes him. And then if something goes wrong and they, the disputes and everything that happens, the scriptwriter is basically like the doormat. Everyone just walks over them, without even, acknowledging that they're also, in this whole. Anyways, so yeah, that was today's episode. Good episode. Now let's see how this goes. Let's see what happens when Aqua sees a proper theater, and with Akane, and if he gets moved. And there you go. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. The very first scene, we get back to that scene where Samajima gets up and she's like, oh, like, can you change the script? And the director is like, oh, okay, like, which part do you want us to change? And she's like, the whole thing, like, I don't like this. And then we go a little bit back in time, a little bit of a recollection or a flashback, I would say, where we see Aqua and Kana coming in. And they were talking about the whole play and like how a lot of other actors will come, this and that. Aqua says like, oh, don't be nervous, Kana, and Kana's like, oh no, I'm not nervous. And then we get to meet Melt here, and and the thing with Melt here as well, like obviously he's taking this as a very in a very in a very like difficult way as well, because he knows that all the people here will be so much better than him. And he feels so out of place, and it's basically like a frog in the well. When your whole world was the well and then you get out to the outside world, you're like, damn, what the hell, I was the king of the well, but now outside there's so many people who are just so much better than me, that kind of thing. Because in Sweet Today there, he was like so confident and everything, and the fact that Kana was actually not showing her true potential also probably made him very think that, oh, I'm so good as an actor. But then reality smacked him in his face and he was like, damn, I'm nothing. So he's taking this like extremely like in a very like yeah, like serious way, and he's probably nervous as well because he knows that just like Kana, there will be so many other people here who are just so much more talented. um okay, so after that, he also says, I did a little bit of studying up, which is nice, like after Sweet Today, he's putting in his effort and all that, and there you go. And okay, so so the he's from, I'm Melt Narushima with Sonic Stage. So Sonic Stage, I'm guessing, is the name of whatever, like I'm guessing like company, not company, but whatever association he comes from. Association, is that what it's called? I'm not really sure what they're called. But basically the people who are sending them. For example, for Arima and Aqua, it is Strawberry Productions. So I'm guessing for him it's Sonic Stage. Okay, so maybe they mentioned this. I just forgot in the previous season. And then we get to meet the director. Okay, what is his name? Wait a minute, I need to remember his name. Raida. Yeah, Raida. Easy to remember, Raida. And then we get to see this guy as well, Sakuya Kamoshida-kun, who will also be playing along with us, as far as I can remember, who has a wealth in 2.5D play experience. Okay, 2.5D play, I'm assuming 2.5D, what 2.5D means is like, it's not 2D, but it's also not 3D. It's like a theater. So basically theater is like 2.5D, I'm assuming. So something like that. Okay, so then after that they introduced the La La Lai performers. Okay, quite a few La La Lai performers here. So first we have Norio Mita, this dude who looks like some kind of businessman, like an office worker. Then we have Mei Adashino, Koyuki Yoshidomi. Okay. Kiro Hayashibara, Ryoma Funato, and obviously Akane Kurokawa. And Akane comes in and says hi to... Oh no, sorry, final person, Himejima. And he was just sleeping. So he's got an Imperial Theatre Award, Best Actor Award, Lead Actor in a 9 p.m. Monday TV drama. Damn. And he's like the protagonist, Taiki Himekawa. And you can see Aqua's like looking at him, Anyways, after that, Akane comes in, talks to Aqua, and she's like, oh, hello, like, like, thanks for helping me out. I can like, show you the ropes here, because obviously I'm in theatering, you helped me out back then, I'll help you this time, and she says there's a lot of scenes together, so you can count on me. And Kana's just looking at them like, these guys. And Melt is like, oh, these two are dating, aren't they? And Kana's like, actually, and yeah, and she's like, they're just doing it for the job, and all that stuff. She kind of explains it's just business. And he says, and Melt is like, oh, like, anyway, the characters are engaged, so it's a deliberate casting choice, which is, I can see that, I never thought about that, but yeah, I guess that's probably why they did it, because like, obviously, like, in the previous dating show, like, a lot of people like probably shipped them together, like, Aqua and Akane, and the fans and everyone, and now that they're going into this theater and they will be like in a situation where they're engaged, it'll probably like I don't know, like make a lot of fans happy who ship them together. They'll be like, oh my god, they're together in the play as well, which makes sense, obviously, like like they'll go crazy, and it'll probably increase the popularity of this show, and a lot of people will just come here to see the chemistry between Aqua and Akane, so like people who even don't have any like interest in theater, they'll probably be like, oh damn, they're like they're doing this together and they're like engaged in this, let me go and watch this. So it's probably going to increase the popularity like that, and Kana's like, Kana's like not having it. She's like, I don't like the linking of actors' real lives and on-stage personas. I think it is distracting. I mean, basically, the production resonates more broadly in if the info the audience has in uniform across the board. Right, all these things. Yet the promoters' fondness of those small additions, devious significance hasn't changed for 2 centuries. Melt is like, yeah, okay, right. And Melt also says like, oh damn, like I've never realized you're like this. And she's like, oh, I just this is a real me. Since I was the leader over there, that's why. At which Melt is like, oh, you could have told that to me before that my acting sucks. And I'm like, come on, like don't put it on her now. And then he also immediately says like, but I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, like it's also my fault. And I'm like, okay, there you go, that's nice. So there you go, that's that. And then we get to meet Samejima and this lady, I forgot her name. What's her name? I'm just going to call her Sensei. I cannot find her name. The author of Kiyama. So Samejima is like, oh, thanks for coming. And she says like, oh, like, you are, my assistant. You were my assistant. So she was her assistant. And after that, she went, solo. And now she's probably, and as Sensei says, that now you're even like, more popular than me. And it's great, like, so you're way more of a, like a name in the manga industry than me now. So I guess that obviously that happens, like a lot of like famous mangakas, they have assistants who help them, and then later on they go solo. And for example, I think Masashi Kishimoto, like his assistant, I forgot his name, who's doing Boruto now, for example. And then we have, I think for Chainsaw Man as well. There, as far as I know, Chainsaw Man, like Tatsuki Fujimoto's assistant is now doing like what's the name? It's also getting an anime adaptation, Dan 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 or something like that. I forgot the name of it. Like his, I think like he's his assistant, isn't it? As far as I know, I might be wrong though. Don't like take my word for it. But I've heard someone that he's the Tatsuki Fujimoto's assistant who also made Chainsaw Man, and he's doing Dan Dan Dan, and now his anime is getting adapted as well, something like that. So it happens, I guess. So yeah, and she Samejima is also one of them, and for her situations, she got even more popular than the person she was like helping out. And anyways, but obviously you can see she's still a kid. I think she's a kid, isn't she? She's drinking orange juice, I think. That's orange juice, isn't it? Yeah. So, there's a lot of things she doesn't know, and that's why she has asked her for help, and she's like, can you help me out? Because your anime got adapted. I do want to get your help because you can tell me probably how much to say and how much to, like, how much I can, like, yeah, like, what I can say in what type of situation, all that stuff. And and she's like, yeah, it's fine, like, come, like, and I have time. And she said like her manga is monthly, so she has a lot of time, which makes sense. Obviously, monthly mangas, the mangakas get a lot of deadline time and everything, while weekly mangas, I go, oh my god, they're a complete, like, craziness. Like, I can't just imagine how a mangaka can draw a whole ass chapter having like 30 pages in 1 week. Like, the amount of effort and craziness that goes in it, is absolutely insane. So so she's like, I'm fine, I have monthly, like, releases, so it's okay. And then they are like on their way, and which Samejima was like, can I brush my teeth first? And she's like, okay, go ahead. And this is where she says like, like, there's a lot of like oddballs in the manga industry, specifically because most of them don't know how to talk. They're like socially, like, awkward with people. And because they usually are like coped up in their room doing the manga. There's a lot of oddballs in, like, in the mangaka, like, scene. um Here we go. I've heard of many cases where the original creator unduly inserts themselves and the production is thrown into chaos, and that is why she's here to help him out. And she also says like Samejima is also a very unique person, you know. So she goes and sees Samejima brushing with two brushes. I love how the color of the brushes are also different. One is pink, one is blue. With two hands, she's just, oh my god, that's funny. how can someone I feel like both hand coordination is pretty damn difficult, but the fact she can do it is quite impressive, and she's like, oh, I'm just doing it because like I feel like I shouldn't take much of your time, so I'm doing it as fast as I can. So yeah, then we are back here again, and in the present, and Samajima's like, I don't like this, change the whole damn thing. And you can see the scriptwriter is taking this in a harsh, like big way. It probably hurt him a lot because, as we know, he's also a big fan of her works. And Samajima's like, she's like, yeah, I thought that I was going to say come here and see the play, and if it was okay, I would say okay, but I think this needs to change. And the scriptwriter's like, I'm sorry, like I couldn't do anything. And she's like, oh, you're the scriptwriter? And she's like, okay, so have you read my work? And she's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I've read it and everything. And she's like, okay, the fact that you've read it and you've still made this part like this makes me doubt your, like the fact that how much you understood it, And she's going full off, like extremely harsh on him. Here we go. Are you actually even reading Tokyo Blade? And she's like, like whenever I'm reading the script, I'm just seeing like something like this that is written in the script would never be done by characters that I made. I know my children well, and they're not like this. Yeah, the characters won't do something like this. It's okay if you need to change some plot lines, but don't you think it's rude to change the character? Which is true. Yeah, you can, I guess, change a little bit the plot, but like I also don't really like changing the whole plot line because sometimes the anime adaptation goes in a completely anime only direction, and that kind of thing happens. So, but I feel like that is better than like changing the whole damn character. Just imagine that your favorite characters that you love, the characters were not like that. And like in the anime it was portrayed in a different way. Just imagine, that would be even more horrifying, wouldn't it? So she's like, yeah, like it's rude to the characters that you're changing their whole personality. Oh, here we go, this is where she says it. My babies aren't such idiots. So like I said, like a person, a mangaka who genuinely loves their work and does it from the bottom of their heart will obviously react like this, because to them these characters are not just characters on the page or on the screen. They're literally their creations, which would mean they're literally their children. So if someone does something like this to your children and portrays them in such a bad way in front of the world, when you yourself know that they're not like that, it's going to piss you off, obviously. It's as if someone is bad mouthing your children without even knowing who they are. And you're like, my children are not like this, and they're not such idiots. And scriptwriters like the nature of the stage play, but she's not listening to anything. She's like, I thought maybe people were just making light of me, but no, this is not the problem. But it seems like the scriptwriter genuinely doesn't grasp the material. Anyway, she's going off, and the scriptwriter is taking it in a very Goa. That's his name. He's taking it in a very like a serious way, and he's very sad. Okay, so anyways, Himejima's like, well, pack up. I'm going home. This is today's rehearsal. Okay, now this is where they kind of tell us what happens when media franchising. Like I said, I got to know a lot of new things from here. It's common for the disputes between original creator and the scriptwriter, and they explain how the whole process happens. So basically, I'm going to read this part. As for the workflow of producing such a script, first draft is created based on briefing from the producer and the director. Okay. Next, rewrites take place for drafts 2 and 3, and then they are nearly in the finished form. It'll be checked by the original creator. So it's a whole ass chain. I suspect that Abiko sensei was dissatisfied with the script that was passed on to her. Undoubtedly, she was more or less fuming when she wrote instructions for revisions and sent them off. True. But because of the whole telephone effect, it got completely changed. And the scriptwriter didn't realize what her true intentions are. So, but there's a lot of intermediaries between the original creator and the scriptwriter. So first we have the original creator, then we have sub-editor, um wait, production assistant or producer, writes, script writer, manager, all that stuff. Yeah, so many, people just goes through, and the rewrites basically become a game of telephone. Yeah. um Abiko Sensei is the type who relies on feel rather than logic. It's possible even her editor couldn't grasp her intention because she was passionately talking about it, and the editor was like, "Oh, okay, try to probably do it logically." And you can see she was saying like, "Oh, this is not good. This is not the highlight of the story. It's not moving at all. Hasn't been fixed. What's happening?" They turn into gross groups of attention seekers who glibly chatter about their feelings on the roadside. I can just imagine that scene where the characters are probably in the middle of the road talking about their aspirations and what they want to do, probably proclaiming it into the world like absolute buffoons. I can understand that. And she's like, "What the hell is this? This is not my characters. They wouldn't do some weird stuff like this. What the hell is this?" You've got to do something. And the editor, as like they say, that the editor took it logically and not emotionally, and he probably just wrote down something very, like Abiko Sensei suddenly gets so talkative when topic turns to manga. Well, obviously she is literally the creator of the manga. What are you on about? Like obviously a mangaka will be passionate about a manga. Like what? Okay. It's hard to organize everything and put it down in writing, and obviously emotions don't properly translate into writing. So he writes something down and passes it on to the rights manager, and the rights manager says, "I cannot pass on these angry sounding comments in the client. Let me just strip down all of that and try to make it better." And they put their own touch in it. "I'll tone this down," and put it to the producer, and the producer is like, "With this project, it seems the manga's author team doesn't..." Oh, he's the producer, not the director. Never mind. This guy, Raida, yeah, doesn't know the first thing about plays. These revisions would necessitate a new set, and that's impossible. And he's like, "Yeah, this won't go like this. We'll change it." So in the end, it goes to scriptwriter's manager, and the scriptwriter's manager is like, "Okay, I'll send it to him," and he sends it to the scriptwriter, and the scriptwriter is okay. They're fine with it. So basically, it started with Samejima being pissed off at the whole situation, and it ended in the scriptwriter's hearing that, "Oh, you need to change this part a little bit and change it like this. They don't have enough time." So the whole intention of the author never got passed on to the scriptwriter. So he is none the wiser. He just did what he's doing. So yeah, communication is a big thing here. So it's just weird how this whole thing goes like this, like a telephone game, where the whole thing doesn't even get transmitted properly. And then obviously when they come meet face to face, the author is pissed off at the scriptwriter. She's like, "What the hell? I told you guys to do this, and this is what you brought out?" And the scriptwriter is none the wiser. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, "Wait, I just did what was told to me." So there you go. And this continues. The chain continues. Okay, so, and obviously, Samejima is getting pissed off that a sense of protest is born for not seeing her intentions reflected in the slightest, even though she's like literally the author. Okay, so at which she says like, "Let me write the script." At which they're like, "Oh no, we cannot do that. Like, and obviously not." And then she says that she's okay. She also says like, "You know what? Just don't. If you guys have problem, you don't have to pay me. Just take it from like, I'm going to pay you guys. Just do it properly. I have like the amount, like, no, she was saying like, I'm going to breach the contract," and she's like, I'll also pay for it, like, but obviously they are also in a problematic situation. They're like, "Oh no, please, you cannot do that. We've already like sent out the posters, the trailers and everything. Like, what are we going to do?" Okay. And then the whole thing about the scriptwriter comes out, and Samejima is like, "I don't want the scriptwriter to be here. Like, I don't think he can understand my thing." But then again, like I said, like, the scriptwriter is not really at fault here, and the scriptwriter is taking it in a very harsh way, And he's like, it's fine, like, like it's okay, I can understand, like, like if you want to drop me, you can drop me, you know. And he says, like, the position of script writer is far lower than you guys think. You can try best to create something good, but differs slightly from the original creator's get. We get into trouble. Producer's own preference gets injected, and if it goes good, obviously we are just like forgotten. There's nowhere for us. So it's a very thankless type of job. Later on, Raida is like, I'm sorry, like this is what's going on. At which Goa is like, it's fine, like, like it's okay. If you want to drop me, I can, go. And then he also says that, but just drop my name from the credits. I don't want to be there in the credits of something that I never even created properly. I cannot stand, like, my name cannot be beside Samejima's name, who's obviously the creator, and even though I did literally nothing, I cannot put my name alongside her. Idea of presenting a script for sensei rewrote as though it is on my own. Yeah, I'm not, having it. At which Raida's like, but we have, like, did all the posters and everything and all that stuff, like it's going to be a more problem. And Raida says, like, it's fine, like, I can proudly say that, your script writing is good. You tried your best at what you can. You had a constrained time limit and budget and everything. You did your best that you could. And he apologizes, and Goa's like, it's fine. He says, my credit can stand. Treat me to dinner. Yeah, and later on we get to hear from him, like saying like how he had all script writers have to handle absurd demands, racking the brain at point of become feverish. They do their best late at night, tried their best, yet, yeah, this whole thing. Anyway, so basically later on we get to know that they're still having problems with the script. That's why the rehearsals will be postponed, and Akane's like, this is a stage around play. I would have liked a nice long time to rehearse. Okay, so Akane's like, what is that? And Akane's like, wait, what? Even the other girl, she's like, wait, what? You didn't know and you're doing all of this? Okay, so Akane's like, you know what? You don't like theater, do you, Aqua? And Aqua's like, yeah, like I'm not a big fan of it. Pacing is poor. Switch sets whenever the scene changes. Movable sets look, cheap. If I'm going to spend the same amount of time watching video content with effective of directing, I would have rather done that. And Akane's like, okay, I guess you would have said something like that. Okay, come with me. I'm going to show you true theater. And she's like, as an actor, that perception won't do, which is true. If you don't understand the thing that you're doing, you won't be able to properly do it. So she's like, come with me. I'm going to show you true theater. she's like, come. Come with a date on with me. Like, I'll show you what true theater is, how immersive theater is, more than videos. And there you go. That is it. I guess that obviously makes sense because like when you are watching like a movie or something, yeah, they're acting and everything, but in theater you're getting the raw like expression and everything, because in acting obviously you do a lot of takes and everything. If it's not properly done, it's just like it gets retook again, this and that. It's more synthetic than a theater is, where you're literally on the stage doing it on your own, showing your true expressions. And people who are truly masters of the craft, they probably will be able to impart so much more emotion than like movies and like other stuff like digital media are able to do. Obviously I myself haven't watched theater, so I can just imagine something like this, and we're going to see now, or Aqua's going to see next episode, what true theater is. And that's where it ended. Like I said, great episode, and I really liked seeing the different perspectives of the different characters, how they think about this whole situation, how this adaptation is going, and where each person is in this whole grand scheme of things, where the scriptwriter stands, where the author stands, and all of them. Like I said, I feel like this whole situation, nobody's really at fault here. It's just that an unfortunate, like, set of circumstances where everyone is like bound by something and they cannot go beyond that. For example, the scriptwriter is bound by a time constraint. The author is pissed off that, like, why is my my creations being treated like this, and everyone is just like going according to a set of constraints, and they are trying their best to do something within the constraints, but it's not properly doing it. So what all I can say now is the actors will probably play a big part into, even with a small amount of time and constraint, the actors will have to provide so much emotions that they're able to bring it out, to the audience. So I don't know, something like that. We'll see. Anyways, so thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to episode 2 of season 2 of Oshi. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to this channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Oshi. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.